what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the film American Assassin. Now this is an action thriller which is based on a 2010 novel of the same name by author Vince Flynn. Now this film was directed by Michael Acusta, and I think that's how you pronounce his last name. If it's not, I'm sorry. And it stars Dylan O'Brien, Michael Keaton, Santa Lathan, and Taylor Kitsch. Now the film itself is about a CIA Black Ops recruit known as Mitch, and he's played by Dylan O'Brien, and he has to help a Cold War veteran played by Michael Keaton stop a launching of a nuke in the Middle East. Now I must say, not really surprisingly, but I did enjoy this film a lot. And I must say, this is actually, I think, from my opinion, one of the best films I've seen this year. I really did enjoy this movie that much, you know. They had like good action in it. I like the locations that they travel to. The performances in the film were good too as well. I thought the musical score for the film was like excellent too as well. Overall, I thought this was a well put together film, and like the direction and the look of the film by Michael Custer, I thought was well done too as well. Now the film itself, I like the opening of it too as well. It has like a very tense and like scary moment at the beginning of the film where Dylan O'Brien's character known as Mitch, he is on vacation with his girlfriend in Spain, and while they're on the beach like vacation, you know, I think he proposes to her, if I'm not mistaken, that he wants to get married to her and so on, because he even has like the camera, like his camera stuff on her, you know, while they're in the water. I guess there's a waterproof camera, they don't really touch on it, you know, but he does like have the camera all over her, and he tells her, you know, that I think he wants to marry her, if I'm not mistaken. But while all this is going on, you know, he kind of like leaves from her and he goes up on land to get, I think, like a drink or something like that. Then suddenly like these terrorists shows up, like a group of terrorists show up with like rifles and just start shooting everybody on the beach. It's a very scary and like tense moment, you know, because it seems so like realistic and lifelike, you know, like the situation itself, how these terrorists are going around just shooting up these people on the beach, you know. So Mitch's girlfriend gets killed at this point, you know. Then the film jumps like I think 18 months later into the, you know, like into like present day, you know. So after this situation happens with like the terrorists attacking like people on the beach and like killing his girlfriend in the process too as well, Mitch becomes like obsessed with vengeance. He wants to see like, you know, revenge against like the terrorists. And I think like the head leader of this particular like terrorist group, I forgot what his name was, he wants to seek revenge against him. Now eventually a situation happens where Mitch, he actually closes in on a target that is kind of held responsible for like the death of his girlfriend and like a lot of these people on the beach, you know, in Spain. And it turns out that like, this situation is like corrupted by CIA special forces who actually take Mitch himself and take him to like a CIA safe house where they debrief him for like, I think, like 30 days. And it turns out the CIA deputy director herself is known as Irene Kennedy, and she's played by Santa Lathan. So actually Santa Lathan decides to recruit Mitch's character, Mitch himself. She recruits like Mitch, you know, to join like this guy known as Stan Hurley. She recruits him to join Stan Hurley, and Stan Hurley is a former U.S. Navy SEAL and Cold War veteran who wants to train Mitch, you know. Well, Stanley Hurley, he wants to actually train Mitch and like other potential recruits to help him in warfare. So that's basically what the film is about itself. But at the same time, you have like this antagonist who shows up, played by Taylor Kitsch. And he's actually like a former, I guess you could say like protege of Stanley, or Michael Keaton's character, Stanley. Yeah, because the Stan Hurley character is played by Michael Keaton. And it turns out that he had like a protege who is played by Taylor Kitsch, you know, who actually turned against him. He actually taught this protege how to do everything that he does, you know, and this protege turned against him. So the protege is actually the antagonist and the villain of the film, and he's played by Taylor Kitsch. So that's basically what the film is about. You know, you have Stan Hurley, he actually teams up with Mitch, you know, and so eventually Stan, who is played by Michael Keaton, he trains Mitch to actually help him take out this mysterious operative who is actually a protege of Stan's, like, you know, like Stan Hurley, he's actually a protege, and of course, you know, he is played by Taylor Kitsch. So yeah, overall, I thought this film was pretty good. This operative, he actually wants to start a global war, so that's what they have to actually prevent him from doing. Now that part of the film I thought was kind of like far-fetched, but overall I thought this was still an entertaining film, you know. I thought the performances were pretty good in the film, you know, like Dylan O'Brien as Mitch, I thought he was good. Michael Keaton as Stan, I thought he was good and aggressive, like he has like a very aggressive role in this film. Like there's like a lot of profanity and so on, you know, like with his character, you know, Michael Keaton's character Stan. But I thought it was okay, you know, but he is like very aggressive, and I thought that was kind of cool and interesting, you know. Santa Lathan, her character as Irene, I thought she did a good job, you know, and I thought she looked sexy and attractive too as well in the film, you know. And I thought Taylor Kitsch, like his role as I guess you could say the antagonist of the film, like the ghost, I think. I thought it was okay. It's like kind of like typical kind of villain, you know, like for the screen time that he does have. He's on here a lot. It felt like it was like too typical, like you kind of seen his role too many times in other films. But I thought he was still okay, you know. He did a good job in it, you know. I thought the action scenes were fun in this film too as well. And it's a lot of like location, like, you know, different locations and locales that they go throughout the film, like Spain, I think Libya, Siberia, and all those. I forget, you know, because there's so many of them, you know, all these different locations that they went to. So I'm not going to touch on all that. But I thought the locales, you know, the locations in the film were like cool and interesting. Like the action scenes were like fun and like on point. They had some explosive like fight sequences where they're like shooting and just fighting and stuff. I thought all those scenes were like good, you know. Plus, like some of the scenes were like Mitch's character, you know, when he's like training, you know, they have like VR moments where he's shooting like VR like targets. I thought that was awesome, you know, like the technology that they had for when he's like training, you know, like shooting like the I guess you could say the AI opponents. I thought that was awesome, you know, like futuristic and high tech. I thought the direction of the film, you know, I thought Michael Acosta, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, he did a good job on the direction of the film. Like I say, the opening scene of the film where they're on the beach, I thought that was scary and intense, you know. The music, the soundtrack for the score itself, I thought was cool, you know. But I guess if anything, the flaws of the film, I feel like the Mitch character, like his character, you know, I feel like it didn't really have any closure. Because here's a character that was actually created on vengeance. You know, he's like seeking vengeance because his girlfriend was killed while they were in Spain on the beach, you know, by these terrorists, you know. But like they built his character up like that, you know, to have like this like vengeance like motive. But I feel like it didn't really like go anywhere. He just ended up just teaming up with Stanley, you know, Michael Keaton's character. I mean, it's what Stan, you know, he ended up teaming with his character, and that was it, you know. So I thought his character didn't really have closure for some reason. Plus, like the ending, I thought the ending of it was kind of like far-fetched, you know, like the way it ended. You know, I'm not gonna spoil it, you know, but I thought it was like overblown, like, you know, like it just it just seemed like too much. But I guess something like that could happen, you know. But overall, I thought this was a pretty entertaining film, you know. Overall, you could tell that that's what the bulk of the film was about. You have like this plot with one character, you know, he's seeking vengeance because his girlfriend was killed in like a terrorist attack. But at the same time, you have this Cold War veteran who needs the same character's help to help him stop like a former like protege of his who wants to start a global war. So, you know, you have like two different plot points going on, you know. But overall, I thought this was, like I say, one of the best films I saw this year. I thought it was really entertaining, you know, I enjoyed it a lot, you know. So I'm giving American Assassin, I'm giving this a B. And I think, you know, it looks like there's potential for this like to be like a franchise, you know, because the way, you know, it ended and stuff, you can tell that there's like room for like another chapter, like a sequel or so on. And it is based on a novel, so I won't be surprised they actually did like a follow-up one day, you know. But in the end, I'm giving American Assassin, I'm giving this a B, and I'm gonna highly recommend this for like fans of like these kind of films, you know. I would recommend it for that crowd. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this film? Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.